All right. Hello, everyone. Again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. Currently, I don't have my regular computer, so it's a little static on this end. Hopefully, it's not. But we are going to bring on. We collaborating today with a young lady, and she's going to add some commentary to this topic. The topic is the impact
Okay, what happened here? Might just
All right, sorry about that. It kicked us off, but go ahead, introduce yourself, Miss Page, and then we're going to go ahead and get started.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Paige. Originally from Savannah, Georgia, moved to Atlanta. I have this podcast called Fostering Through Life, which basically is a route of my life, all the trials and tribulations that I went through and how I foster myself to become a better person because tomorrow's never promised. We never know what life may hold for us. So every day we're fostering each other. We just don't know that. Also, fostering through life came from me being the foster parent to my nephews. They are 15 and 12. So currently I'm their foster parent. And so that's majority where the name came from because as I was fostering them, I was learning things about myself as well.
Okay, so we're going to dive into this video and the impact of fatherless homes. So, what do you think the impact, before we even get into the video, what do you think the impact of fatherless homes are to society?
Oh, fatherless home. That's a deep one. Just coming from the impact that I know that I experienced because I grew up in a fatherless home. But just
Okay.
children not knowing their identity, children not knowing how to communicate, how to accept things, following the wrong crowd because they never had that leadership, choosing just the wrong decision in life. Um, then also women having that masculine energy because that father was not there. Feel like they have to do both roles. So I would say those are some of the contributions to having a fatherless home.
Okay. And are those some of the things you experienced yourself, you think?
Yes, I made a lot of decisions in life, um, just to not like picking the wrong person to marry or trying to be masculine and not dip into my feminine side because I felt see my mom do it all. Like when my dad was supposed to do something and didn't happen, so my mom had to go get it. So that go getter mindset is a good thing, but it's dangerous at the same time.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to get into the video, but what do you think makes it dangerous?
Um, it makes it dangerous because just the roles reversing. Women don't
Okay.
know. Women can't be women. Because a man is supposed to protect, provide, and just be that support. Women is like nowadays, like the generation is like, oh, I don't need a man, or my mom did this, and just that statistic of everything.
And it's interesting that you said that. So let me read off just let me share my screen actually. So we're going to go in. My regular computer, I got to put in the shop. So I'm using my backup computer here, but we're going to share my
Okay.
screen a little bit. Give me a thumbs up if you are able. Once the screen manifests itself, just let me know if you can see acting up. If so, then I will unshare the screen. But can you see the screen at all? Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes, I can see your screen. Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I
Um,
can see the screen.
okay, so and it's interesting the impact of homes. All right, so this is an article speaking about fatherless homes here. This article is almost a year old, and it's fatherlessness and its effects on American society. All right, so I'm not going to read everything from this list because the video is going to that I'm going to play is going to cover a lot of this. But across America, there are approximately 18.3 million children who live without a father in the home, comprising about 1 in 4 U.S. children. The United States has the highest rate of children living in single parent households of any nation in the world. About 80% of single parent homes are led by single mothers. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. 80% of single parent homes are led by single mothers at a rate of 23% of children living with one parent and no other adults. The United States stands over 3 times the world average of 7% of children raised by one parent. For reference, the numbers stand at 3% for China and 4% in India. So we are at the bottom of the barrel. And when you hear people speak out against marriage and all of this stuff, I think that is one of the greatest impacts to our society because it's felon. All right, so let's dive into this video here, and hopefully you can hear the commentary. So let's play this.
Professor, I'm going to tell you, when you read some of these stats, you're going to sit there and say, that is insane. By the way, these stats are from 2021 of the impact a father makes in a child upbringing, both a girl and a boy. Like I said, disturbing, but you will be shell shocked with the stats. If you get from the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let me get right into it. The U.S. has the highest rate of children living in a single parent household of any nation in the world. About 80% of single parent homes are led by single mothers, at a rate of 23% of children living with one parent and no other adult. The United States.
All right, so basically, he's just repeating the same stuff that was listed in the article, and hopefully you can hear it, Paige. Let's
I
make sure you
can.
can hear it.
I can hear it.
Oh, you can. All right, that's perfect. Let's keep going. And if you want me to pause at any time because you want to lay some commentary, just let me know. I'll pause it and you lay your commentary. But this video is 9 minutes and it's powerful. So let's keep going.
It stands over 3 times the world average of 7% of children raised by one parent. For reference, the number stands at 3% in China, 4% in India. This is not an area we want to be competing with other countries, by the way. If there is a statistic to not be competing in, this is one of the statistics. China's at 3, India's at 4, the world's at 7. We're at 23% in America. Zero bragging rights. This is the stat everybody wants to hide. And this is the stats where the side effects of we're going to see for 2 decades or 3 decades or longer. Takes a while to see the side effects. Let me continue. Even for children with a father present in the home, the average school age boy only spends about 30 minutes per week with one-on-one with his father. The same boy on average will spend about 44 hours a week watching television, playing video games, and surfing the internet. In our house, there is no video games throughout the week. It's on the weekends. After you read 150 pages throughout the week, then you have the right to play video game an hour or two on the weekend. And that's what you have to earn. You have to move your body, you have to exercise. There's certain things you need to do to get to that point. That's our household, but the stat tells you 44 hours a week of watching TV, playing video games, and surfing the internet. Let me continue. 90% of all homeless and runaway children, 63% of teen suicides, 85% of children and teens with behavior disorders come from fatherless homes. Let me read that stat to you one more time. 90% of all homeless and runaway children, 63% of all teen suicide, 85% of children and teen with behavioral disorder come from fatherless homes. That is a very, very big number. Next, fatherlessness likewise has a direct link to teen pregnancy and sexual activity. Roughly 70% of teenage pregnancies come from raised in a fatherless home. 70% of teenage pregnancies comes from fatherless homes. 70%. That's a big number. And these women have.
What do you think of that number, Paige? 70% of teenage pregnancies come from fatherless homes. That's a huge
that's a huge
percentage.
number.
What do you think?
That's a huge percentage. And I have to agree
That's
because
really big.
I know a lot of teen pregnancies and it came from fatherless homes. So that's crazy.
Right. So let's keep going. It gets deeper. That's only in 3 minutes that he dropped these bombshells. It's 6 more minutes to go of impacts of men that's not in the home.
Significantly higher abortion rates than women raised by both a father and a mother. On the whole, fatherless kids are 20 times more likely to be incarcerated and 11 times more likely to exhibit violent children from two-parent households. 20 times more. Okay? 20 times more. If a man and a wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail, but they have the same chances as children raised by just their father. You may already be blown away by the stats before, so maybe come back and let me read this to you and brace for impact if you missed it. Let me read it one more time. Listen. Just stay with me. Don't get distracted. Stay with me. Listen. If a man and a wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail, but they have the same chance as children raised by just their fathers. Husband and wife raise their kid. The chance of this kid going to jail is the same as just the father raising his kids. The problem is
nobody wants to have this conversation because once you say fatherless homes, then we have to start addressing why there are so many fatherless homes.
Okay. I don't know what just happened there, but hold on. Let's go back here. That's not
okay.
I have some disturbing stats.
Let's get back to where we was. What's about here? I must be hit the wrong button.
Nucleus. There are things that my wife can do as a mother that I can't do. There's things she can bring that I can't bring, but there are things I can do that she can't do. So now you may say, well, Pat, I agree. I do agree. We can lower this. We can, but then how come it's not happening? And here's the other question. Who's to blame? Who do we blame with this? Now, you may be listening to this saying, well, it's got to be the husband and wife's fault. It's got to be the man and the woman's fault. Fine. How come it's not the same ratios around the world? Why is U.S. fatherlessness at 23%? Everywhere else is 7% average. So is it really the mom and dad?
Right.
So how about the mom and dad in India? How about the mom and dad in China? How about the mom and dad in Germany? How about the mom and dad in Brazil? How about the mom and dad in other places? Why are we at 23%? How did this happen? Was it like this before? Is it an evolution? Is it mainstream media? Is it Hollywood? Is it the fact that parents are afraid of parenting because everybody is so much involved? You can't do that to your kid. You can't do this to your kid. You can't discipline your kid like that. Whose fault is it? It's someone's fault. Is it the fact that, hey, we can't really bring church and schools and pray and all this stuff? I don't know. Maybe that's not something you agree with. Maybe it is. Maybe we need those values and principles. But it's somebody's fault in America that this is happening. This is purely a systemic issue that we're having. This cannot be like in, no, it's really the community, it's the parents, it's the culture, it's all this other stuff. No, standards are standards. We're sitting there not educating. It's not a big deal. Go ahead and do that. It's not a big deal. Go ahead and do that. It's not a big deal. Go ahead and do that. No, standards have dropped and the numbers are showing. If we judged a country based on how many kids are being raised by fatherless homes that's producing crimes at the levels that we're getting, sex during teenage pregnancy, abortion, suicide, incarceration, Maybe we ought to look at this. This is very important. Maybe our educational system sucks. Maybe. Kids spend more time around teachers than they do around their parents. Who do we blame? The responsibility has to lie on the nation. Maybe we're either too much involved or we're not selling. Take your time to get married. Take your time before you have sex with someone. Take your time before you get pregnant. Take your time before you have a baby. Stay home. Do not just go out and have unprotected sex. Maybe we're not talking about this kind of stuff. Maybe we are, maybe we're not. The stat says we're not selling it in the right way, and we're paying a price for it. If you're in a community that crime is high, hello, you're feeling it.
All right, so pause that for a minute. I'm going to get in commentary here, and I want to get more into the impact of what do you think as a person who just heard this commentary. Let's dive into it and let's give our own opinion. You're a mother of 2 kids that you are fostering. You're going at it alone because you forced to go at it alone because of the circumstances. You can share that information if you want on the podcast, or we can just keep going. How do you feel about the odds and the statistics of 2 sons that you're going to be raising alone unless you get remarried, and the ramifications that it's a chance that their reading level will be down? It's a chance that how old are your kids? How
12
old are
and
your
15.
children?
12
They're
and
12 and
15.
15. So this give me some commentary. How long have they been in your life as mom?
April 1st of last year.
So they've been in your house for a year. And
Yes.
my question is, are they feeling the impact not having mom? Well, you are mom, not to be disrespectful, but biological mom and dad, or are they just saying this is all we have? Let's give mom a try.
So yes, they're feeling the impact. They felt the impact prior to even coming to me. But
Okay.
it shows. It shows in their schoolwork, their reading level. It shows in the respect level. It shows in just not having the motivation and just like, oh, I don't care attitude.
Okay. So
So
now have that shifted any? Like, are they saying, have they improved?
yeah, so it's improving, but it's taking time. It's not like
Okay.
personally, my opinion was, okay, they're gonna come to live with me and then see like life can be better, life can be different than what they experience. So I'm thinking it's gonna be a quick turnaround. It's not that easy.
Mhm.
Like they still facing trauma, they still going through things that I can't really help them with because it's like trauma from not having their father. And they see
Right.
their father on social media with the other kids, but then they're not
But
here with me.
are there other kids his? Or are they someone else's
It's
kids?
it's both. It's his and someone else's.
So let's get this right. So he's taking the time out to raise some other biological kids from him, but then he's helped rearing the kids from the new mom or the mom of those kids.
Yes,
Correct?
correct.
Now, I just read something today that I'm old, so I'm gonna say it burnt my bacon. So in Marietta, they are I can't pull the article up because AJC want me to pay for it. I'm not paying for it, but they're about to infuse $7 million into the school system to help with literacy. So meaning that the impact of that is they're saying that, more to the story, boys that don't have, well, not just boys, but boys read less than girls, but children that's from fatherless homes do not know how to read. Boys in high school are reading at a 4th and 5th grade level. Now what happens is, because they're reading at this level, in 3rd grade, and we're going to get into some more statistics, in 3rd grade they go ahead and start building prisons because they already see this kid can't read, the likeness of him finishing school or she finishing school is less likely. But I'm saying him because girls are just now getting more, I mean, words thuggish. Boys have been more, rough around the edges more. Girls are trying to imitate men nowadays. If people don't like it, just put it in the comments. But some girls are acting like men now. And I think that is from, this is my opinion. I had a friend of mine tell me that his wife told him that that she was never raised off love. She was raised off survival. And the way that she raised her kids is off of survival, even though at the time they were married for a number of years. But why are you raising your kids off survival when kids don't need survival? Kids just need to know that you care. You know, like my daughter, she seems like sometimes she got the toughest because I got 13-year-old twins. She sometimes treat me like she got the toughest, like a turtle shell. And I'll be like, is she listening to me? Is she not listening to me? Should I give up? Should I not? Like, I don't know, but I see that, I guess from in my mind, I'm like, I wanted that, that not to say we don't have a good relationship. She's only 13, but that, how people say I'm a girl dad.
Yeah, the
But
girl dad,
my
daddy's
daughter,
daughter.
so she opens up to her, to her mom more. And then my son, he's bubbly with both of us. He always come and talk to me. My daughter, I'm like, is she coming to love women and she just don't understand me? I don't know. So what I'm saying is, but I know for a fact that when men, if you're not in your children's life late and you try to come in their life at 13, I'm already going through what I'm going through with my daughter, and I've been in her life damn near every day. So I'm like, if I would have came to her life at 13, it's no way we would have had a good relationship. I just don't feel we would have had because it would have been too much time. It would have been too much of a gap. And some people are not forgiven. They are not. Even though it's sometimes the dad who is selfish and leave, and sometimes it's the mom who don't want the man around.
Who pushed him away.
Grew apart. I think I can do better. And I'm gonna give you a statistic. A lot of times when you think you can do better, you don't do better. You don't do, you do as good in most cases as your baby daddy, your ex-husband. You don't get out there and leave a guy who made $50,000 a year and go and find a guy making $100,000, especially if you have 2 or 3 kids that came out your womb. It just doesn't happen that way. Now, I can accept a woman who said, I'm raising these children, but I don't have any biological kids. I can accept that. But see, for me, I probably couldn't accept a woman who already got 2 or 3 kids. That's just that's my prerogative. That's my right. I only got one life to live.
That is true.
But the impact, and we're going to play another video, but the impact of fathers' homes, and the gentleman from I think it's Valuetainment, he said something so impactful in my mind. Who's at fault? Because America is at 23%, and then you got India
at 3%
with 1.5. What I think India got 1.5 billion people, and they only at 4%. And China is almost at the same. They're over 1 billion people, and they only at 3%. So why in the world, Miss Page, is America at 23%? And then you see sometimes the ramifications why people divorce. Now, I don't believe that a person should stay for abuse. I don't think a person should stay for going through cheating. Verbal abuse, physical abuse, all of those abuse, cheating. I understand if people walk away from that. But reconcile differences. What the hell is that? That's not even a reason.
That's not a reason, but a lot of people put that on a divorce decree not to hide the truth. Because I put that on my divorce decree when I know that was not it.
Right, but see, here's the thing: that was created by a lawyer. That terminology was something created by a lawyer. So a person didn't have to expose the truth of why they divorced, because most people put why they divorce, right?
Yeah.
But my thing is, when you leave that situation for any other things that I name, I don't agree with. Because see, some people say, well, you shouldn't stay for the kids. I say, hell, you don't. Why you don't stay for the kids? You plan, in most cases, you plan these kids. So if you plan these kids, what stay to at least they're 18. Now, whatever after they're 18, do what the hell you want to do. But those kids need both of you. And then you want to know why little man keep making C's and then with the medicine. That's another thing we run to after the fatherless homes, because these kids got behavioral problems. But
ADHD.
A lot of them don't. But guess what? A lot of them are misdiagnosed. It ain't even ADHD.
It's not that.
It's they acting out because the father is not there. And that's why a lot of kids are acting out. The mom can't control them, because when he wake up, he see John and his daddy going to get ice cream. And then he's scratching his head because mama got to work 3 and 4 jobs, or she want to go out on the weekends or whatever you want to do. And guess what happens? Now you feel stuck. You feel like you're in a box. I don't have any other outlet. And this going to sting some. Sometimes women don't know how to raise boys. Because even sometimes I see the way my wife talked to my son, and I say, that's not the way you talk to boys. Boys don't supposed to cry. The hell they don't. So what you want a person you want all of these boys to cram up pent up energy, and then you send him out to get married. Now he whipping James, because that's all he did all his life was have this pent up energy. Now he's releasing this energy. Boys shouldn't be emotionally crying, no, but boys have a right to cry. If we didn't have the right to cry, then why do we have the ability if we shouldn't cry? If that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we're going to get into some more aspects of fatherless homes. I saw this, and when me and you connected, you was like, do you have a topic? I thought about it. I said, you know what? Let's talk about something that to me is impactful, because people, in my opinion, are leaving home for the wrong reasons. My wife can wake up today and say she don't want me, but it won't me saying that. But 80% of divorces are filed by women; they're not filed by men, anyways. So you can have the worst cheating husband in the world, he still ain't gonna leave you.
Yeah, I know.
You know, a man is not going to wake up and say he's going to leave you. Yeah. But let's go ahead and share my screen one more time, and then we're going to dive into some more articles, because this is impactful. And if you got any commentary that jumped to your mind, let me know. Then we're going to definitely let you share your opinion. But fatherless homes I saw this article, and now this is. And America top, and that's not bragging. It's just not bragging rights. So let's go ahead. Let's see here. Let's finish this.
So their job as a father seriously. You can thank you for your service. What do you mean? Amen. Stats: 23% fatherlessness, and you're there with your kids. Thank you for your service. Being a father is tough. Good for you guys, husband and wife, trying to make this work. They're just tough. Salute. You make my life better and safer by raising good kids. Salute to you. Maybe we ought to give those awards. Maybe we need to kind of recognize Father of the Year award, a bigger deal. Man, if I ran a state or a country, we would be recognizing certain behavior and turning great fathers and mothers into heroes. Because God knows their job is hard, very hard. Not, making their job harder, not recognizing the guys that are doing a good job, just kind of winging it, which is the way we're doing it right now. Stats don't favor us. We got some work to do. This is an area, well, I will very comfortably say America's got a lot of work to do. We've stepped away from values and principles. Anyways, no one masters parenting, and none of us know if we're going to be great parents after 40 years until our kids are 40 years old. By the time you know you're a great parent, you're probably not alive because your grandkids will validate you were a good parent. So you're never going to know whether you were a great parent or not. But I made a video.
All right, so he ran. Let's go and look at this guy. This is the one I actually accidentally clicked on. This is from June of 2022. Let's click on this one as well.
Nobody wants to have this conversation because once you say fatherless homes are the problem, then we have to start addressing why there are so many fatherless homes. And it's because we decided to put a bunch of people in prison back in the day. And not that we shouldn't have done that because they were committing violent crimes. That backup plan. We did absolutely nothing to backfill the father role in these communities. And this is for the inner city shit. We had no plan to backfill this from the inner city. And as a culture, we have devalued fatherhood over the past 50 years, right? We've made it weird. We've turned at the underbelly of the nuclear family. We've told women that it's a bad idea for them to be mothers and to be fucking homemakers and shit like that. Nobody wants to have this conversation.
All right, so do something else really quick. I'm gonna pull one more thing up.
Okay.
Let's see. Is this one okay? Father absent homes and the implications of criminal justice. So let's go here. Now, this is from Minnesota page, and this is the fatherless homes implications for criminal justice and mental health professionals. So we're going to read a little bit of this, and if you got some commentary you want to lend to this, please let me know. Dive on in. I don't want to be the one that's talking the most. I don't want people to be like, he talked too much. Let the pretty girl talk. I don't want people to say that. So if you got something to say, definitely dive in. All right, the number of single parent households in the United States have reached high levels in recent decades. As the extant literature suggests that children raised in single parent households experience more physical and psychological problems compared to those raised in two parent homes. The implications of homes in which fathers are absent may be important to explore for criminal justice and mental health professionals. So let's dive down here. I just want to read that. Perceived abandonment. And this is what your children could be going through here, right?
Yeah.
And this is why I want to read this. They, like we hear kids say, you don't love me, you left me, I felt all alone. This is what this is. Children who grow up without their fathers may come to resent parental figures due to perceived abandonment. These feelings may burgeon from a lack of trust and result in heightened sense of anger. As a child grows into adolescence, a younger adult, these problems may contribute to the contact with the criminal justice system, use of illicit substances, as well as variety of mental health problems. These consequences may result in interpersonal dilemmas, including the inability to develop strong social bonds. For example, anger stemming from abandonment can make it difficult for juveniles to establish friendships and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
that's what we just was talking about as well. How kids are misdiagnosed, put on Adderall, they put on all of these medicines, and sometimes their cure is the love of a father.
The love of the father.
Yeah, those may be the ramifications. All right, child abuse. Many previous publications have linked the absence of a father in the home to higher risk conditions for mothers and their children. Children that grow up in such households are much more likely to be the victim of physical, including sexual abuse, neglect compared with those who grow up in a two-parent household. Children who grow up in a single-parent household, single-parent home, are twice as likely to be the subject of physical and or emotional abuse. In addition, the absence of a father results in an increased psychological burden on the child, as he or she must make sense of why his or her father is not present. This
Absolutely.
burden extends beyond the child to alternative caregivers, such as the child's mother. Indeed, the needs of a child are hard to meet, even when a mother is loving, committed, and caring. And I think that that's
I'm
what
gonna
you are, Miss
piggyback on that.
Chage. Go
I'm gonna
ahead. Go ahead.
not in my case, but I know I have a little sister. She is 15. And once again, fatherless home. The father is not in her life. Um,
Okay.
and my sister and my mother's there, raise her with love as she raised me. But my
Okay.
sister resents my mother. Like, say things as if I don't love you, I don't like you. But when it comes to her
Mm.
father, oh, I just want my father. But your father's don't want to be in your life.
You breaking up a little bit. Is this the fifth?
I'm sorry. Okay, what was that? Can you hear me?
Mm. Is this the 15-year-old sister that has his feelings?
Yes, the 15-year-old sister where she tried to
Is this
fight my mom
the
and
15-year-old sister?
yeah, the 15, yeah. So she went to the point where she
Just
tried
a
to
little bit.
fight my I'm still breaking up? You can hear me?
Okay. So no, you sound clear. You sound clear now. All right.
Okay.
So let's read some more statistics here. And this is from the Young Warriors. Let me put the link in the chat box just so people can see this actually. All right. So let's put what's going on. But anyways, let's I don't know. I can't wait till I get my other computer. Let's go here. All right. The fatherless crisis in America. Same stuff, but it's people don't know how major it really is. Uh, um, fatherless crisis in America, fatherlessness has seen the most serious social problem by almost 80% of respondents in a recent Gallup poll. All right, so what's going on? Okay, hold up, boy, oh boy. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? It's breaking up.
Oh,
Let me see. I'm gonna try to log in from another
Paige,
source. Can you hear me? I can hear you,
okay,
but it's breaking up.
okay. Still breaking up.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Say something else. I wonder if let's see.
Let me. I get
You can hear me?
you fine.
Yeah, no, you have a slight drag. It's like a drag and like an
Okay, so something
echo.
ain't right. Now, all right. So, All right, let me. Okay, one is right.
I wonder if it will let me. Is it on? You can hear me?
All right, what about now? Can you hear me back? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we good now. All right, so let's keep going. That was okay. So that was a internet issue. My fault. Let's keep going. All right, so let's read some of this stuff. If you can hear me, matter of fact,
Yes, I
let me
can.
let me just. All right. The truth about fatherless crisis in America: 85% of all youth sitting in a prison today grew up in a fatherless home. 85% of all children today grew up in a fatherless home. That is a huge number, right? All right. So,
Yes.
okay. So that's a huge number. All right. So, fatherless homes breed violence. With over 24 million children living absent of their biological father, we must do something. 90% of all homeless and runaway children are from fatherless homes. 80% of rapists motivated by displaced anger come from fatherless homes. Source: criminal justice and behavior. 75% of all adolescent patients in chemical abuse centers come from fatherless homes. 71% of all high school dropouts come from fatherless
Oh.
homes. 63% of youth suicides are from fatherless homes. 85% of all youth sitting in prison today grew up in a fatherless home. 85% of all children that exhibit behavior disorders come from fatherless homes. That's from the CDC. For the people want to know this. Why is little man bad as hell? That's because his daddy
It's
did,
not in his
you
life.
gotta, yeah, his daddy ain't in his life. So some they name him twice. Man, yeah, man,
Ray.
because your man ain't there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you got to name him. You name him twice. All right, so that's another statistics people should be aware of. Let's go on. It gets worse. Where can't be no worse than this? All right, 85% of all children that exhibit behavior disorders come. Well, that's CDC. I just read that. 70% of juveniles in state-operated institutions come from fatherless homes. 72% of adolescents serving sentences for murder are from fatherless homes. 75% of the long-term correctional facility inmates are from father absent homes. I guess they want to write it a different way, huh? I got so used to say fatherless, now they say
Fatherless.
father absent. All right, so 54% are more likely to be poor than his father in a fatherless home. 74% greater risk of suffering from emotional neglect. I'm gonna say neglect. 77% greater risk of being physically abused. 80%. The boys get touched too.
Mm-hmm.
Boys get
Boys
touched
get touched
too.
too. Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Uh 80% risk of suffering serious injury as a result of abuse. 87% greater risk of being harmed by physical neglect. 165% greater risk of experiencing notable physical neglect, and overall 120% greater risk of being endangered by some type of child abuse. These are all ramifications of father's home. So when the mother or the father feel that we don't like each other no more, we fighting every day, this is what your child may experience as a result,
and think it's okay when they
and
grow.
they think it's okay. And what's going to happen, Paige? It becomes generational.
Yes, it
Meaning,
is.
if your mom and dad were in poverty, the likeliness of you making it out of poverty is extremely hard.
It really, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you get some people who buy their first Gucci bag, they think they done made it. Nah, baby, you just bought a Gucci bag.
You just bought a Gucci bag. And
yeah,
9 times out of 10, you could doing Klarna. You're doing monthly payments on it
exactly.
just to fit in.
And children from fatherless homes are 4.6 times more likely to commit suicide, 5.1 times more likely to be poor, 6.3 times more likely to be state operated institutions, 6.6 times more likely to drop out of school, 10.8 times more likely to commit rape, 15.3 times more likely to have behavioral disorders, 15.5%, 15.5 times more likely to end up in prison while a teenager, 24.3 times more likely to run away, 33 times more likely to be seriously abused, and 73 times more likely to be killed. Now, I'll rest this case on that. And I want to hear Ms. Page and see if you want to lend, like I said, some more commentary to what I just read. This is bad. Now, the way I look at it is, and I know you were once married. You shared that already in this podcast. But do you think that the aspects that do you think that us Americans, one reason why we are 23 percent likely to be in a fatherless home situation, do you think that's because we start off wrong? We don't start off with marriage, and most of those countries, marriage is a big thing. What do you think of that?
Yes, no, absolutely. I mean, it comes from us not going about it the right way with marriage, or finding love, then marriage, and then procreating. And then also, in households growing up, a lot of parents don't want to have that talk with their children. A lot of parents want to be friends with their children and not a parent.
Okay, what kind of talk?
Like the talk of
What kind of talk? What kind of talk?
like just the talk of love and finding the right person and saving yourself and waiting until marriage, and just those important conversations that is needed to this day. Because I can tell you right now, I haven't had that talk in my household. The birds and the bees conversation.
With your
I never
children,
had
and they
that.
15 and
No, I'm saying
and they
as
15
me
to
growing
12.
up. Me growing up.
Oh, you
I had
growing
that talk with
up.
them. Me growing up, I haven't had that talk with
Okay.
finding a husband, and the qualities to look for in a husband, and saving yourself until marriage, and why is it important, and things of that nature. I make sure I have that talk with them. Even though it's uncomfortable for me, I still have it.
Why? Okay, so why is it uncomfortable?
I would say it's uncomfortable because I didn't have that structure growing up, so I didn't know how to.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I'm not a mother biologically, so it's like I woke up one day and now I'm a foster mom, coming from just
Okay.
having no children.
Okay, so before we end this one, we're gonna segue into what your channel gonna be about, because we definitely want people to find you, definitely. But now you won't go. I mean, once you become a parent,
It's nonstop.
it's nonstop. So the point that I'm making is here is I understand that you didn't have that, but now it's time you got to break those generational curses.
Absolutely.
And I really believe in generational curses. I think that they're real. The likeliness, if your great grandma grew up in poverty, your daughter gonna grow up in poverty. Her daughter gonna grow up. It's gonna keep repeating itself. And one reason why it repeats itself is because nobody breaks the cycle. And the cycle is education. The cycle is having a solid foundational home. People really, to me, I think we are at a gender war. I really feel that in America,
Absolutely.
we are at a gender
Absolutely.
war. I think that men, we feel that women are worthless. And I think that the women feel that they are going to school now and they don't need men.
They don't need men
And
for nothing.
right. And the problem is, I see older women that I pick up because sometimes I do ride share when I'm not doing marketing, and I see older women. Can you help me? Can you do this? Because you don't have no man around to help you. And that's
Mhm.
your prerogative. Why your man is not there, that's your prerogative. But we clearly see in India, in China, what big, larger populations,
What
the
their
man,
percentile is.
right, regardless if they like each other, regardless if it's abuse, because all of that stuff do go on. It's like that. I picked up a lady today doing ride share, and she kindly shared with me she went to the AB clinic. Now, this YouTube, you got to watch the words you say, right? So I'm
Mhm.
quite sure you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And she was saying this is her second time getting pregnant in uh 6 months.
Mm.
And the first time she was able to delete the baby in Louisiana, but this time she couldn't delete the baby in Louisiana because now
Of the
they
law.
have 0 abortions. Oh, I
Mhm.
said the word. Oh, please don't get demonetized me. She couldn't do it there because of that.
Mhm.
So she came all the way to Georgia. Now, where I picked her up from, you couldn't even tell that it was an AB clinic.
Mm.
It had no signage. She walked fine, you know. So we had a conversation. The guy was her college sweetheart. She's 41 years old. Um, so she no rights for wrong. So the
Mhm.
average person graduate from college anyway from 21 to 24 years old. So when you look at those numbers, if she's 41, she's been out of school probably 20 to 17 years out of college. I mean,
Mhm.
but the problem is she's married and the guy's married. They're not married together. They're married to different people. So the guy
Mm.
was scared. I heard him on the phone. He was scared that he was going to lose his family and his children and his wife. But her words to me is, "We have excellent and perfect the S word."
Mhm.
So I asked her why he didn't take precaution. She
Mhm.
said, "Well, they have excellent vertical lineage." And I'm like, okay, so the vertical lean is that great. So I was like, but 2 times, I said, this
In
not
6
messing with
months.
your psyche? And she was like, in her fantasy world, she felt that she probably could have had the baby, but then it became a fantasy to her because she knew the ramifications that if she kept the baby to herself, he still was scared that it would come out to him. Okay,
Mhm.
fast forward the story. She's in Georgia deleting her second seed from this guy. She don't have children on her own, even though she's 41, because her
Mm.
current husband had a vasectomy, and even though he reversed the vasectomy, it still
Didn't work.
um it didn't work. So they tried over and over and over, and clearly she see that she can get pregnant. Lucky her. But the point that I'm saying is this is how family homes start. That's why I'm even telling this story.
Mhm.
It start because when you cheat on your spouse, and sometimes the spouse can even probably take you cheating, but they're not going to take you procreating
With another person.
with another woman, because now you done took it from just betrayal to ultimate betrayal. When you bring in another specimen on
Into
earth,
this world.
and also you coming back to me have an unprotected the S word with me, and then you have an unprotected S word with her. now it begins to be betrayal and nasty.
Yeah, you don't care.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm saying that they don't care with the unprotection.
right, but it's right. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying it's still nasty
Yes,
because now
absolutely.
you going as from a man point of view, you're going to two ladies unprotected, and that's when you can get. That's when a woman will poison you or something, mess around with her body. But the point that I'm saying is, this is why people say the number is so high in America. But then you clearly see the ramifications of the selfishness of said parent, whether it's male or female. She's married to somebody else, even though she's separated. I said, if your husband knew, he would be devastated because you had another man to do something that his body could
Could
not
not
do.
do.
And I say, for a man, our egos are shallow.
Yes.
They are fragile, and we could not
Take it.
forgive.
Yeah, you know.
Some men will start doing things that they would not even believe what the hell they doing. But you started it. You started it.
And then
So I asked her these words, and I'm gonna leave with this. I asked her these words. So why he didn't pull out? We have excellent S word. I said, are you gonna stop since y'all done had two?
no.
She said, no, I'm gonna go get on birth control. She's in love with this man. You clearly can see that she's definitely in love with the guy. This is their life. This woman stay in Baton Rouge. I'll never see her another day in my life unless she have another S, another AB.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem I'm saying is this happens every day. We pick the S word over family. In America, we are losing. And because we are losing, this is terrible. And I'm only telling the story because I would never meet this woman again. But let me read something. And I think I'm having internet issues when I share my screen. So that's why I'm not sharing the screen
Okay.
but I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link here. Once I get my computer back, then I can be in better. So households marriage in the black community. So I want to share this link because to me, this is important. This is not the first time I done shared this commentary, but most people probably have never heard of this commentary. So I'm gonna read it anyways. In the black community, what percentage page do you believe are married in the black community? Give me a percentage. You can't see my screen, so give me a percentage.
I'm gonna go with 34, probably 34%.
Okay, if we was on Prices Right, you would be close. You were actually almost about to win the yacht. I don't know what water you would put it on, but you will win this damn yacht. In the black community, a grand total of 30% are married, 3% separated, 12% divorced, 6% is widowed. So once I read those numbers, what's the percentage that never got married or will never get married in the black community, male and female?
Almost half.
There you go, 50%. Math is your subject. 50% in the black community will never get married. The likeliness of a woman past the age of 35 getting married again is lessened, and when they get 40, after 40, it gets worse. So when people say, I'm leaving my husband, we are 50 years old and I want to do it again. Well, first of all, you are to live more than half of your life. Number two, Now you done live half of your life. You got to find somebody that want to live with you if you want to get married again. Everybody don't want to get married again. And then if you got adult children at this time, or you could be 50 with young children, because some people don't have children till they're 41. Who the hell want to be around raising a child when I'm 50? I don't know. All right, so when I'm thinking, I'll be 5 years. My babies, for me, my babies will be close to 18 because they're 13. For me starting over, I'm not shooting nobody club up. No, thank you. Keep your club, close your club. No, I'm not, no. Close your club. No.
You're very adamant on that one.
Yeah, close your club. All right, so 33% men are married in the Black community. 3% are separated, 10% divorced, 3% are widowed, and 52% Black men are single and childless in the Black community. So when people say, I had to say this, when people say that Black men are Pookies and Ray Rays and they're spreading their seed for everybody in the world, you clearly see that 52% of Black men are single and childless. Now, that doesn't, they could be gay. They could be career oriented. I don't know. All of them are lumped in that same number. They lumped in the same number. All right, so let's keep going. 27% of Black women are married. 4% are separated. 13% are divorced. 8% are widowed. And 48% of Black women will never get married. They will have a whole bunch of damn kids, but they will never be marriage worthy. Right? That is terrible. Those statistics and numbers are terrible, considering 43% of Hispanics are married, 3% are separated, 9% divorced, 3% widowed, and 40% of the Hispanic community are not married. White community, 52% of white community is married, 2% are divorced, 12% 1% is separated, 12% divorced, 7% widowed, and 28% would never get married. And in the Asian community, 58%, 2% separated, 5% divorced, 4% widowed, and 31% never married. So the point that I'm saying is, first of all, we are definitely at a gender war in the Black community.
In the Black, yes.
Those numbers that I just read, you can click that link and you can see. And if this is not an OMG moment for a lot of people, I heard Lala say the other day, she was like,
"Oh, about that."
Go ahead. Tell me what you
I have to disagree with that. She basically said that it's a statistic saying that nobody's divorcing because the marriage is not the goal no more.
Right.
And that's because society is making marriage not the goal no more. And then a lot of people are idolizing these celebrities, and when you see a celebrity get divorced, you just like, oh, I want to be for the streets, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and that's what make marriage not the goal. But I just feel like, oh yeah, like for me, because Lala said, oh, I got married, I did that, I experienced that, I don't want to do that no more. Like, I can just be in a committed relationship with someone, so forth. I must be different, because yes, I've been through what I've been through and I done got divorced, but marriage is still my goal with my soulmate, with the person that equally yokes me.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Well, you easy on the eyes, so that may help you. A lot of people they're not hitting that gym. They
Oh yeah, you have to take care of yourself.
Some of them are facially challenged. They put those eyes on it, those eyelashes like they about to fly away.
Oh yeah.
And those BBLs, this go
BBLs
away.
take over.
They go away. And because
so
everybody
sad.
keeps saying, I done heard not Sierra. Sierra don't have one. Cardi B say don't get them. K Michelle say don't get them. So many people are saying stay away from them. That was the worst decision of their life. But so many people are still running to them.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to definitely do another segment talking about has marriage extinct. We're gonna do another one. Hopefully, we bring some more people on. If you know anybody that you know that you want to bring on to another one, let's bring them on. We could pick a time and a date.
Absolutely.
And we can have this conversation because it's probably better to have it in a group setting. And the people I was going to bring on, Brandy's ex baby daddy, but I was like, you know what? I met you through Brandy, so that don't make no sense to bring him on. So I opted not to bring him on. And then a friend of mine who was going to get on, he ended up having a family outing. That's why he didn't come. Okay. But I'm gonna definitely bring some people on myself because the words Lala said, she got to understand there's a lot of girls looking up to her.
Yes.
A lot of them had work done on her body.
Yes.
Me and another friend of mine, we done had conversations about it. To me, the role she has taken has made her belittle her husband.
Yes.
I don't care what nobody say. She's an attractive woman, but if your man done made $200 million over his career, I'm quite sure you did not have to be out there with your chest out. And that's just my opinion. When the world's saying, look at this scene, how you think that man felt? You know what's going to lead to divorce, depression, or whatever? It was going to lead to something. So we got to have these talks because what I told him is Kelly Rowland, who I think is so beautiful to me.
Very beautiful.
I think to me, Kelly Rowland looked better than Beyonce. That's how I felt. I always felt that way. She's getting into acting, but she's not taking her clothes off. Well, so far, I haven't seen no roles like that. She's being respectful. She's being whatever you want to call it. That's what she being. And I don't know Lala. I'm not dissing her, but for her, those were dangerous words that she got out there and said, none of my friends are searching for marriage. When you and damn Sierra are married, and Sierra is definitely married, and she be looking like a harlot, but she still showcase her man. She with her family, and just because it didn't work out with you,
doesn't mean it's gonna work out.
Men are fragile. Men are fragile. Lala always, I don't know if she promoting herself, whatever. For years, all she do is take bikini pictures. She take this. Hey, you got your husband. Why are you doing that? Now, am I gonna look? Well, I got freedom of sight. That ain't even an amendment, but I got. Now I'm damn sure I'm gonna look. I tell my wife I'm addicted to looking at pretty people. She's not a bad looking woman, but she couldn't be my old lady. I let me bring it back. I prefer my old lady not to do that because you don't want your man to feel his self-esteem to damper. That
and then also he's competing.
Right. Well, I don't think she cheated. I have never heard her, but and then you got a son, and that's the impact that we're going to talk about that on another show as well. The impact of fatherless homes, I think that's something that we're going to have to keep speaking about because this is crazy. Those numbers that we read is very and did you so let me ask, did you know any of those numbers?
I did not. And it's funny you said I didn't know the numbers, but I want to say about a week or two ago, I did see an article on TikTok and it basically said how in the Black community it's a lot of fatherless home, and it was a little snippet that said both parent household, the children have the same chances of just being raised by a man.
Right.
By the father.
And
I did see a little snippet on TikTok, but I did not know all those numbers when it came to that topic.
And this, and for everybody that's going to listen to this, if you make it to this point, Paige and I are not, she's a mother herself. We are not saying that mothers or women are bad just because you're a mother. We're not saying that. It's just that men got a different set of mental or how we raise our children versus
Absolutely.
a woman. And like I gave an example on here, how I see how my wife talked to my son, and I tell her, you can't talk to him like that. You know, that's a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Boys don't supposed to cry. The hell he don't. You think he gonna be whooping Jenny ass tomorrow because because he had this energy pimped up? There are a lot of boys with pent up rage, and all that they wanted was a talk from their daddy, a hug from their daddy,
a simple
daddy
I
to
love
come,
you.
a simple I love you. Go to my game. The reason what took me so long is because I want to spend some time with my son, and then I went and cooked him something to eat, making sure that okay, I'm leaving you. Your mama home soon. You know, I got this podcast, but let me just spend some time with you before I leave because kids want to see their parent. And when you start letting the computer and the TV raise them, you're going to lose them anyways. And that's what took me so long setting up today, even though we technically got on time. But like I said again, we gotta talk about those Lala statements because I think that those statements are definitely dangerous. I think that I think she's living in fear, and I think that's what it is.
She's so hurt from what her first marriage brought to her. She didn't completely heal from that to where she's carrying on to her future endeavors.
But in my mind, I think she did some of that hurt to herself because you told your husband, she told her husband, I'm only giving you one child. This words come from her because I don't want to ruin my body. This is what she said. So after she had that first child, she went to have work done on her body. So people were like, oh, Lala, her body is perfect. Ashanti, your body is perfect. Those ladies had work done on their bodies.
Ashanti? Ashanti?
I can show you some pictures how Shanti 40-something years old. You think that she had no work done on her body? None?
I mean, you know, you spread out as you mature. So, you know.
I'm not saying she had a lot of cosmetic work, but she had some work done on her body. If I pull up a picture from Ashanti when she first got in the music industry and a picture now, you're going to see.
She was also young, though. She was also young. Ashanti was like 16, 17 when she first got in the industry.
Yeah, but she had work done on her body, her face. Lala had work done on her body.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They had work done on their body. I'm not saying that it was extravagant. I'm not saying they had BBLs. They didn't have none of that.
But just some transfers.
But sometimes you go get, So, and that's their prerogative. I'm gonna say that again. That is your prerogative. But what I'm saying is, because it didn't work for you, don't downgrade it for somebody else. Because the numbers I just read, those are dangerous ass numbers. Where really these kids are taking Adderall. I talked to somebody. They said I picked her up because I say I do ride share sometimes when I'm not doing marketing. The lady said that some kids take Adderall. They take the HD medicine, and they take sleeping medicine. They take all of that.
Yes.
And I'm just like, some of these kids only want love. They don't need that stuff. But the lady said the parents be waiting in the lobby or the doctor's office, and if you don't give it to them, they'll drop you as a doctor's office physician, and they'll go find somebody else that's going to give them that medicine. And this is the impact not only are you introducing them to a druggy lifestyle,
because they're gonna always look for that. They're always gonna look for that numbness, that calmness, that help them. Oh, this gonna help you concentrate. They always gonna look for that when that medicine don't work no more.
Exactly. And this has been a fantastic. I want you to plug your podcast is coming soon. Tell people about it again.
Absolutely.
So people can know why they should subscribe to your podcast and what they're going to get out the deal.
So my podcast will start February 1st, which is this Wednesday coming up. Fostering Through Life, FTLX22. You can find it on YouTube from there as well. Also Instagram, if you are Instagram person. But my podcast is more just like topics of this, like important topics, a safe place where you can discuss these things to hear each other out and just to find like a solution of how can we make ourselves better, the next person better. That's why it's called Fostering Through Life, because we have to take these valuable moments and just promote and care for one another to be a better person for the next generation to come. So that's mainly what my podcast is about. Go ahead.
All right, so we got a question here. Are you talking about the children who had a father who was there but was a super low investment father? I'm not sure what a super low investment father is. So you basing father. Go ahead.
She's probably relating to saying the father's in the house, but the father's not.
No, it's a he. That's
present.
a he.
Oh, he? Okay. So are you talking about children?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically the same thing. So excuse me for that. But so a father that's in the house, like a married couple, but the father is less active in a child life. Like, I know, did you hear the saying where it was like, I'm married, but I'm still a single mother? Or I live, or did you hear that?
Yeah, I've heard those statements, but the question from this individual.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that what the question is related to, like a super low investment? So the father has not invested much in the child life, even though the father is present in the house.
That's what it sounds like, honestly, this person is saying. But what I'm saying is, are we basing fatherhood on the amount of money that a man make? Is it? I'm asking them if they still there, or are we basing fatherhood on the time that you spent with the child? Because clearly we see the guy from Valuetainment said that in other countries, fathers are spending 44 hours with their children a week, but in America, that's not the case. Men are spending, they say, 30 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
You said it today, so I'm not sure what they're actually what they actually are saying, but men plays a huge role, regardless how you look at it, in the child's life when you look at what's expected of a father. And for me, what I'm saying is men just need to spend time with their children. A man can't spend time with his children if he's always working 3 jobs because he's paying a whole bunch of child support because he got 10 and 12 kids. And I done picked up people like that, and where a guy was like, I got 3 kids from now, my baby mama pregnant, but I got this other girl pregnant, and then I got this other girl possibly pregnant. Now this is the truth. And I got three I got to get to my probation officer because my leg monitor popped off. He was at a girl's house. Then his baby mama got 3 kids. She pregnant with his 4th. He got another girl pregnant, and then the stripper probably pregnant right now.
You just setting yourself up for failure. You're setting society up for failure with that.
Exactly.
Your children up for failure.
Exactly. Okay, so this person's my dad was weak, immoral, shifty, a pessimist, and didn't raise me well. Now I'm adult, basically powerless in life. I hate to hear that.
Yeah, that's very sad.
That's very sad.
But powerless, that's some
Sometimes
strong words.
yeah. Some men, you got to understand when I talked about generational curses, Mr. Lou, I spoke of it from the aspect of this. You got to understand that some men, and this is just my opinions could be valid or non-valid, are generational. They how can you be a strong father in some cases if your daddy was sorry and your granddaddy was sorry? You can't start the world to say I'm gonna be great, right? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm saying, how can you be a great father if your father was terrible and your granddaddy was terrible?
I can say
So for
you know how that made you feel, you know what you experienced. So to break that curse, you don't want
Mhm.
to recreate those moments that you experienced as a child. You don't want to recreate those moments that you experienced as an adult. So that's
Right,
how you have to be better. That's why I said powerless is a powerful word, because you're speaking that into your life now.
I agree.
Like basically powerless in life. No, you have all the power. The power is in your tongue. The power is in your mind. The power is
Mhm.
in your body when you get up and like, you know what? I'm gonna make tomorrow different from yesterday. Or I'm not gonna be what my father was to me. And I say that because with my nephews that I'm fostering, like me and you had a conversation prior to the show when you was like, any man that comes in my life have to accept my nephews and have to be that father figure.
Mhm.
And when I say I didn't have a father growing up, they not experiencing a father, and then I just so happened to be blessed with a man who accept them and just take care of them and provide for them, because I'm not the person to, how can I say, I'm not the disciplinarian. I can't discipline. Well, I can, but I just feel as if I'm more nurturing. So when I try to discipline
Mhm.
my nephews, it hurts me because I'm just a soft-hearted person when it comes to children. But being that the guy that I'm speaking with, he stepped in as that role to make sure that, that they don't reap what their father did to them, or they're not
Mhm.
reaping what society brings and all these other things, and then the trauma that they experienced from their mother not being in their life. So it's like, and he didn't have a father, but he's doing a fantastic job with my nephew. So it's how you want to carry yourself and how you want to see yourself and how you want to procreate and teach that person to be better.
Okay, so do he want children
Yes,
himself?
he do.
So what's going to shift with your nephews that you are parenting if you become a mother of biological kids? Would it be a major shift, or that's just the third child in the spectrum?
That would just be the third child in the spectrum, because we had many conversations about that.
Okay. Okay.
So we had conversations of where, yeah, it shouldn't, it's not going to be a shift, because at the same time you stepped in and took this responsibility. I kept it, like we were talking prior to me taking on this responsibility, and we had conversations, and he just stepped up to be like just outstanding human being, to be there for myself and my nephews, and then having conversations of, yes, I want children, um, and things of that nature.
But are y'all going to do it marriage first or procreation first?
We're most likely gonna do a marriage first.
Okay. It
Yes,
was a trick question because a lot of times I just read you those statistics. Is a man is more likely to stay, and people like a child don't keep a man. That's a damn lie. I don't
a
believe
child
none
do
of
keep a
that.
man.
So
But you know one
I
thing about
do.
him, his, like I said, he did not have a father, but his mother raised him. Don't procreate if you don't see yourself marrying a person. And that's why he's part of that statistic, that
And
52% single with no children.
absolutely. But even though you raise your nephews, he still view you as an empty vessel.
Yes,
A
because
lot of
I don't have
men,
any
and
biological children.
that's what I'm saying. And a lot of men will be more up to task to even help you with your nephews, because I know for me, I get a legacy out the deal. Meaning I don't have to worry about outside of the nephews, which is almost grown 6 and 3 years. Then now I got my own little man that I can raise my own. That was the deal. But if I gotta go and compete with 3 and 4 different baby daddies and all of this, and your trauma, and I know that you got possible daddy issues, and your mama taught you survival, I got an uphill battle to climb. And if I want
and a lot
to
of men not staying for that.
A lot of people don't. If I want to put my foot in the ant bed, I would do that on my own. I'm not gonna walk in the world and do it. And that's what a lot of people are doing. I ask people all the time, if you meet a girl with 3 kids, you give her 1. How many children do you have? They say, some say 4, some say 1.
And it's crazy you said that. I was actually, I'm not sorry to interrupt you, but
no, go ahead.
I was actually in Publix today, and it was this lady outside with her child and a buggy full of groceries, and she was just like, anything could help. So, you know, I proceeded to go into the store, and then when I came back out the store, it was a young man with her. And then I don't know, they got into an argument or something, and the young lady just walked off. And she was just, and she left the baby in the car and left the guy with the baby. And she just left, and he just screamed, was like, "This is not my child. Where are you going?" And I was like, this is what the world is coming to. Like,
did she come back?
No. Well, I didn't stay long enough to watch, but yeah, by the time I got my groceries in the car and got in my car and drove off, she was still walking halfway down the street, and he was just looking like, I have this baby in this car and groceries, and I'm just like, so I was just like, this is very sad. This is very sad.
And when we look at those statistics again, and this is not woman bashing, but when we look at the statistics, because ladies are more emotional, you just say you're not the disciplinary, you can be, but you don't want to be there. But then you start the conversation earlier, you want to be in your feminine place. You don't want to be in survival like you saw your mother.
Yes.
But you clearly see a woman that's possibly suffering from PTSD because she got a baby, the daddy probably nowhere around, she probably living with trauma. It's so much of. And back to the pent up rage. It happens to people all the time, this pent up rage. And that's what she could be experiencing.
Absolutely.
And
because there's no way you can just leave your child with a man that's not the father. And apparently he's not really a stand-up man to be like, this is not my child out in public, instead of you just taking a child, because apparently y'all in a relationship. And then y'all just got in an argument. So when you said the guy was like, some guys say I have 4 children, some guys I say I have 1. He was having probably that one that's like, well, I have 0 kids. This is not my child. Why are you leaving me with this baby?
Well, we're gonna get into this. So you say you're going on Wednesday. You say the 1st. That's gonna be yours.
Yes.
So what days are you going on? Because I want to have another podcast with you also. And then you can contact me and give me your once you go live, give me the link, the title of your channel, and I could tag you in this video as well, so Absolutely. People can go back and find you. Okay. If you're available next Saturday, I don't know which days you're going on. We possibly can do another one, another video talking about the implications of marriage, how people feel that marriage, how Lala said
it's not
people are not getting not the goal no more. And then we see that people say men are the cheaters when you clearly see 52% men are single and childless. So if you're not married, did that man really cheat?
It depends.
No, don't answer that. Don't answer. We'll talk about that. It don't matter what the status of the relationship, because if you're not married, you're single. But we're gonna talk about this.
We're gonna talk about that.
We'll talk about that. But people look at infidelity as infidelity, but you're not married. Did he really cheat? But we're not gonna answer it in this one. We're gonna do another one.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and end it here. Mr. Lou, before we end, generational curse, good point. We're going to do another video one day where we're going to talk about generational curses. I already did other videos on this channel where I talked about mom-daughter syndromes. And the mom-daughter syndrome is when moms have a bunch of kids. A lot of times the oldest daughter, she become the mother of the house because the mama has to work, is no man in the house, is a bunch of siblings there. She give you a key with a shoestring around, a shoestring with a key. And at 10, 11 years old, the daughter, she got to iron the clothes. She got to check the homework. She got to do, she got to cook the food sometimes. Got to make sure little Ray get on the bus because she's a daughter mom.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do another video on daughter mom. I did one of those on this channel. I did another one talk about son husbands, and the son husband is basically what?
No, that's a good one. These some good topics. Like
I did one on the son husband, and the son husband is basically where a mom the worst words a mom could tell a son or a boy is, you the man of the house. Because now you put that child into mentally into adult role.
And
because now
you put them in a shoe they can't feel.
But now so now you forcing him into manhood at 7 or 8. He's pumping your gas, he's taking out the trash 7 or 8. He's doing all of these things. He's pulling off your eyelashes, he's doing all this stuff because you're emotionally connected to your child and you don't need a man. So this boy grows up, now he's picking your husband. He's picking your, not husband, because you ain't damn sure ain't getting married, your new boyfriend. But guess what? When this boy grow up, he's not taking out the trash. He's not doing none of this stuff. And now you don't push him off onto another woman. And then she say, your son ain't strong enough. How the hell he going to be strong enough when the mama didn't let him grow? And the daddy wasn't there to rear him. And this is what's going on with these son husbands.
Absolutely.
But the moms are the core of that. So yeah, we got some good topics we're gonna talk about and we're gonna, get down on. But that's something people don't talk about, that daughter mom syndrome enough, where they force. Those videos are on this channel. Anybody who want to watch those, force those girls into adulthood. So at 13 and 14, they feel that they're old enough to have a child. So that's why you got 13-year-olds and 14-years with babies.
And happy to be pregnant at 13.
And
I raised my sister, so
Yes.
I think I can do it. No, you can't, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
And the mom out there doing the gender reveal.
The gender reveal
at 13 and 12.
The mamas want to be the sister instead of the mama.
I picked up this young lady. She looked young. She younger than you, matter of fact. You say you're 29, she's 28.
Okay.
She told me she had a 16-year-old. I was scratching my damn head.
Woo.
She had tattoos all over her body. She said she came from New Orleans to Atlanta because she wanted to have a vacation away from her kids. I'm thinking the kids are 4. I'm thinking the kids are 3 because she looked like a baby.
But her daughter is 16.
Her daughter 16.
So she had a baby at 12.
And then she had 3 others. So she tell me went to a park and the boy, a man raped her, basically 18. He raped her. And so I say it's a problem with, it's loopholes on your story. I said, number one, you didn't have a strong mother. I said, you can give me 2 stars. I understand. I said, because I'm quite sure you wouldn't buy your own maxi pads or whatever you call them, Kotex. Your mama at 12 years old, you didn't have the money to buy them yourself. So your mama should have been buying them. So if you didn't find out you was pregnant until 5 months old,
somebody ain't doing something.
When your mama not counting them?
Yeah.
Because my daughter 13, if she own it, I damn sure don't want to know, but I'm quite sure she is. I'm quite sure my wife, she's buying it, because I never went to the store and bought it for my wife doing it. And I'm quite sure she's counting them. I'm quite sure they don't have those conversations with me because I don't want to listen. But I'm quite sure she's buying them. So if she stopped buying them and I find out my daughter's pregnant, I'm looking at my wife. When the hell was you supposed to count them? And when did you stop buying them? So I said, your mama wasn't strong. She said, yeah, I felt that way too. Until my mama told me to pee in a cup when I was about 4 or 5 months pregnant. It was too late then.
It was way too late.
You know, so these type conversations, you know, need to be had. They will be had. And I think this was terrific, and we're gonna go ahead and end it here. And I hope you're getting ready for your own podcast and having these topics and
absolutely
dealing with these glitches and stuff like that. But
yeah,
but nevertheless, we still persevere to push through, and we're gonna go ahead and end it here. But I'm gonna email you, so we're gonna talk about the next one. We're gonna talk about and whenever you're available, because I know you're a mom and you got your own podcast, you're getting crunk.
absolutely.
Is marriage extinct? Is it going extinct in the Black community? And are we at a gender war? Because I think we are. You know, the most educated in college are Black women, but Black women are the first one to tell you about the education. They're first ones to tell you how much money they make. And I'm not saying dealing with no Pookie and Ray Ray, but clearly you see 52% of men are single and childless. So I'm guessing, and if 30% of men are married, 33% are married, so that's 52 and 33.
Yeah,
that's
so
80.
You picking
so
from
all
that,
of the kids, are coming from roughly 20% of men.
20%. So y'all still going after that 20%.
Absolutely.
Because in a lot of things, they're comfortable. They don't want to step out their comfort zone. They just want to keep going after the same individuals. And then also, you got to do it insecurities and within yourself, who you pick.
I agree. So we're going to go ahead and end it here. I think it's been terrific, Miss Page.
It absolutely happened. Thank you for having me.
No problem. We're going to have more people on when we come back again. So we're going to crank up this conversation. Mr. Lou, I hate to hear that you feel that your dad was all of these adjectives that you listed, but sometimes as men, we got to get the counseling. We got to go to an uncle. We got to go to an uncle or to a friend, or even if you a coach or whatever you can to get that to grab your power. Yeah, somebody you look up to get that power back. So with that, on that note, we're going to go to end it here, and it's been a pleasure, Miss Page, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see you next time.
All right.